Good afternoon, everybody. How is all my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing the 2024 NFL Recap Week 13 show, where I, Nikki D, break down all 16 games. I'll let you know who won. I'll let you know who lost. And we also went undefeated for the first time, 16-0 from the prediction show this week. Little spoiler alert. What was your favorite game of the week? Let me know down in the comment section below. And don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. And I hope everybody continues to have a wonderful day. And without further ado, let's get to our first game of the 2024 NFL Week 13 recap. We had the 4-7 Chicago Bears going on the road to Ford Field to take on the 10-1 Detroit Lions, the first of 3 Thanksgiving Day games. And this was a very close game. Detroit controlled it for most of it. Chicago tried to get back in it, but poor play calling at the end of the game really cost the Chicago Bears, as the Detroit Lions were able to survive Thanksgiving. They beat the Chicago Bears 23-20. And in our next matchup, we had the 2-9 New York Giants going on the road to Arlington to take on the 4-7 Dallas Cowboys. And another Thanksgiving game, the second of 3. And honestly, this wasn't really as close as the scoreboard indicated this week. Dallas was really in control for a lot of this game. They were up 27-13 late, but more than New York Giants were able to cut the lead to a one-possession game, and the Dallas Cowboys finally starting to get some wins cooking at home as they beat the New York Giants 27-20. And in our next matchup, we have the last of the Thanksgiving games, as we have the 5-6 Miami Dolphins going on the road into Lambeau to take on the 8-3 Green Bay Packers. And Green Bay was really in control of this game from start to finish. I believe they were up 24-3 over Miami at the half. And honestly, Miami tried to claw their way back into it. They were able to cut the lead down to 13, but that was really about it. Green Bay stood tall in this one as they beat the Miami Dolphins on Thanksgiving 30-17. And in our next matchup, we have Black Friday football as the 2-9 Las Vegas Raiders went on the road into Arrowhead Stadium to take on Patrick Mahomes and the 10-1 Kansas City Chiefs. And more drama to the story for Kansas City. The Raiders fumbled a late snap, lost the ball, and lost the game. Kansas City somehow, some way, finds a way to survive. The Chiefs did okay to stay out in front. I believe they were up 10-3 at the half, but Kansas City really getting out of a sticky situation and survives the Raiders 19-17. And our next matchup on the 2024 NFL Recap Week 13 show, we now go to the Sunday games, and we start at the 1 p.m. games as we had the 7-4 LA Chargers going on the road in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium to take on the 6-5 Atlanta Falcons. And this wasn't really a high-scoring game, but it really didn't need to be. Kirk Cousins throwing, I believe, 4 interceptions on the day was a big reason why Atlanta couldn't get their offense going, and the Chargers did just enough to walk away with a win. They beat the Falcons 17-13. And in our next matchup, we had the 8-3 Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road into Paul Brown Stadium to take on the 4-7 Cincinnati Bengals. And honestly, I did not see this type of game coming. I thought it would be a very low-scoring game. I thought Pittsburgh's defense would hold Joe Burrow in check, but instead, this turned into a very high-scoring game. Pittsburgh was able to survive with a 6-point victory this week. Shout out to the 9-3 Steelers, but Cincinnati really hung in this game, and they were able to do a lot of things, including an early pick six. But in the end, Pittsburgh beating Cincinnati 44-38. And in our next matchup, we had the 6-5 Arizona Cardinals going on the road to take on the 9-2 Minnesota Vikings. And this was really close, even for my expectations. I really thought Minnesota would run away with this game. I thought Arizona would try to get things going, but I thought that Minnesota front seven would do a good job at keeping them in check. This was a really back and forth game until the last snap, as the Minnesota Vikings survived the Arizona Cardinals 23-22. And our next matchup, we had the 5-7 Indianapolis Colts going on the road into Foxborough to take on the 3-9 New England Patriots. And this game was a lot of back and forth. The Patriots were up going to the half. The Colts were up going to the fourth. The Patriots went up by 7. And in the final seconds of the game, Indianapolis would get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And Indianapolis would walk out victorious. They beat the Patriots in Foxborough. Final score 25-24. In our next matchup on the 2024 NFL Recap Week 13 show, we had the 6-5 Seattle Seahawks going on the road into MetLife to take on the 3-8 New York Jets, and a very back and forth game for a lot of it, as Seattle was able to take the lead in the fourth quarter, and the Jets would attempt a Hail Mary to try to end this game and maybe get a win, but it wasn't complete. Seattle was able to hold on here in Week 13 and beat the New York Jets. Final score, Seattle 26, New York Jets 21. And in our next matchup, we had the 3-8 Tennessee Titans going on the road into the nation's capital to take on Jalen Daniels and the 7-5 Washington Commanders. And the Commanders were back to business this week. Really exposed Tennessee in the first half. Were able to turn this into a rout. One of the 3 blowouts that we really had on the week. And this was probably the worst one of them all. Great way to snap a 3-game losing streak by the Commanders, and Tennessee really needs to figure out what they're doing on defense, because you can't give up 40 points in a game in the NFL, as the Washington Commanders take care of business over Tennessee 42-19. And in our next matchup, we had C.J. Stroud and the 7-5 Houston Texans going on the road to Duval County to take on Trevor Lawrence and the 2-9 Jacksonville Jaguars. And Jacksonville did an excellent job this week at being able to stay in the game, considering nobody in the NFL really gave them a chance in this game. But Jacksonville was able to keep it to a one-possession game. Houston really struggled, but they did enough. They were able to, get the lead in the fourth quarter and hold serve as the Houston Texans get to 8-5. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-20. And our next matchup, we have the 5-6 LA Rams going on the road to the Bayou to take on Alvin Kamara and the 4-7 New Orleans Saints. And this was very back and forth. The Rams took the lead to start the game. Saints tied it up. Then the Rams were up 14-7 before the Saints were able to tie it up. But then a quick response from the LA Rams put them up for the remainder of this game. game as the LA Rams do take care of business in a low-scoring game. They beat the New Orleans Saints. Final score 21-14. And our next game on the 2024 NFL Recap Week 13 show, we had the 5-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers going on the road to Bank of America Stadium to take on Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. And Bryce Young looks like a completely different NFL football player now that he is back to the starting job in Carolina. And they were able to stay in this game with Tampa Bay for most of it. It's the only game on the week that went to overtime, and when it did, these two defenses really exchanged blows. We thought Carolina was going to win, but Hubbard fumbled the ball and gave Tampa Bay a new light. They drove down the field, kicked through the game-winning field goal as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Carolina Panthers 26-23. And our next matchup, game of the week, we had 9-2 Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles going on the road into M&T Stadium to take on Lamar Jackson and the 8-4 Baltimore Ravens. And Philadelphia's defense did an excellent job at shutting down Lamar Jackson in the running game with Derrick Henry. Baltimore really struggled to be able to get on the board against the Eagles defense, and Jalen Hurts just did what Jalen Hurts does. The Eagles were able to drive the ball down the field a number of times, especially in the fourth quarter, as the Eagles beat the Baltimore Ravens 24-19. And our next matchup is Sunday Night Football. We have the 5-6 San Francisco 49ers going on the road into the snow of Orchard Park to take on Josh Allen and the 9-2 Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo really dominated this game from start to finish. Josh Allen had 2 passing touchdowns. Josh Allen had a rushing touchdown. Josh Allen even had a receiving touchdown in the snow. That's how good he was in this game. And this was all Josh Allen all night as the Buffalo Bills take care of business against San Francisco 35-10. And now to Monday Night Football. We had the 3-8 Cleveland Browns going on the road to Mile High Stadium to take on the 7-5 Denver Broncos. And Denver went up by a couple of possessions in this game, but then Cleveland in the second half were really able to march back and take the lead at 32-31. Denver would take the lead on a field goal by 2 before Jameis Winston would get the ball, throw an interception, and Denver took it back to the house. And the Denver Broncos get to 8-5 this week by beating the Cleveland Browns on Monday night, 41-32. And that was the 2024 NFL Recap Week 13 show. What was your favorite game of the week? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. And if you want to see some more of me, Nicky D, then go check out another one of my videos, because I got hours of content that'll keep you entertained well into the evening. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I'm Nicky D. This is the Nicky D channel, and I will see all of y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.